Hey everyone, my name is Jason Slavin, and this is my 3-minute thesis presentation. And the final issue was a message to 2026 candidates about the importance of aligning policies for the betterment of education. I teach U.S. history in the state of Georgia, which means we are reviewing for our milestones. And last week I had a student fall asleep in class, and I woke him up and I talked to him, and it wasn't because he didn't care, but when I talked to him, it was because he had worked the late shift the night before and then had to wake up early to take his younger siblings to the elementary school down the street. And I realized that these issues can be really difficult. Sometimes students don't do as well on tests or in class, not because, they can't do it. It doesn't have anything to do with the content or the instruction or the teacher. It has to do with what happens outside of the classroom. And so my main takeaway for this presentation is that student success depends on alignment. Education, workforce pathways, and life support have to be able to work together, not as separate systems. I see students who, are dealing with a lot of stuff outside of school, and they're not failing because they can't learn. They're struggling because everything around school is working against them. What stands out to me is that we treat education, workforce preparation, and quality of life as separate systems. Schools focus on academics, workforce systems focus on jobs, and other services focus on basic needs, but students don't experience these systems separately. They experience all of it at the same time. Because of that disconnect, many students don't see a clear pathway from school to their future. They don't always understand how what they're learning connects to a career or long-term stability. The report highlights the need to better align education with workforce opportunities and create clearer pathways for students. When that connection is missing, motivation drops and engagement becomes harder to sustain. From my perspective as a teacher, the issue isn't just instruction or funding, it's alignment. Even at the policy level, our systems are not built to work together. In Georgia, for example, the QBE funding formula focuses primarily on what happens inside the classroom, but it does not account for the broader supports students need to succeed. When systems are designed in isolation like that, students are, definitely going to fall through the gaps. So, what does alignment actually look like? It means creating clear career pathways, expanding early learning opportunities, and building stronger partnerships between schools, communities, and employers, not as separate initiatives, but as one coordinated system that supports students at every stage. When that alignment is in place, the impact is clear. Students are more engaged because they see a purpose in what they're learning. Their performance improves because of their basic needs are supported. And schools are no longer expected to solve every problem on their own. At the end of the day, if we want better outcomes for our students, we can't just improve schools. We have to connect the systems that shape their lives, because student success does not happen in isolation.